If you're looking to stay out of the heat in West Oahu and you want scenic views just like the one behind me that doesn't break the bank, I think I may have just found the spot for you. Welcome to Makakilo. But it's not that it's just a two-car garage, it's all of the cabinet space. Now let's talk a little bit about the location of Makakilo. Now you're only about 22 miles out from Honolulu. Again, we'll talk a little bit about the traffic later, but it is also very conveniently located up on the mountain, so you get nice breezes, very quick drive down that steep hill, down to Kapolei for all the conveniences that you need with the big box stores. And also you get a variety of different types of homes out here, condos, townhomes, single family homes, even mega mansions up here in Makakilo. Now Makakilo kind of is split into, I'd say, two different areas. You have lower Makakilo, where a lot of the homes were built kind of in the 60s and 70s. So it's definitely older homes, maybe a little bit of a different vibe. And then they started building up as time went by. So in the 90s and 2000s, we started to see newer homes, newer construction, and also the higher you get, the better the views you get as well. Now let's talk about the pros and the cons. And Makakilo has a lot of pros, so I'll try to get through all of them. The first one is gonna be the temperature. Now West Oahu generally is gonna be much warmer than the other parts of the island, but Makakilo specifically, because we're close to the West Oahu Ridge, we get a lot of breezes, which you might see behind me. So it's just naturally gonna be cooler up here than it would be in, let's say, Ewa or Kapolei. The second one is more space. Again, comparing it to Kapolei proper and Ewa, you're gonna see a lot of properties with zero lot lines, tighter lots, and up here you'll see anything between 6,000, 7,000, 10,000 square foot lots, which is really nice, especially if you've got families. And that'd be my third pro, is that Makakilo is definitely a family-oriented neighborhood. You can see kids riding their bikes, definitely neighborhoods that look like Pleasantville, as you can see right behind me. So it's definitely a family-oriented place. The next pro would be that you get a lot of bang for your buck. It can be a little bit pricier than down below in Ewa or Kapolei, but when you compare it to some of the prices on the different parts of the island, for the type of home you get, it's pretty good. And lastly, I would say the construction type. Out here, a lot of the homes, at least in Upper Makakilo, are gonna be built in the 2000s. So you're gonna have homes that are gonna be double wall construction, you're gonna have central AC, and also just a solid slab foundation. Now also, Makakilo is infamous for its views. Now, depending on where you're actually located, you may or may not have a view, but if you are fortunate enough to have a view, you could have ocean views all the way from Diamond Head to the whole other side of West Oahu. And lastly, the last pro about Makakilo is the variety of types of homes. You can get a condo, you can get a townhome, you can get a single family home. They even have these mega mansions up here in Makakilo. So there's the right home for everybody out here in Makakilo. Okay, we talked about the pros. There's got to be some cons. So let's talk about the cons. The one and obvious one whenever you're talking about West Oahu is going to be traffic. So you're about 25 miles from Honolulu, but the drive is only about 30 minutes without traffic, but with traffic, it could pretty much triple. It could take you an hour, hour and a half, sometimes even 2 hours, depending on the traffic flow. The second con would be steeper roads. Again, we're up in the hills, so we get that nice breeze, we get those nice views. But if you have a car and maybe you forget to fill up your gas or the brakes aren't so hot, it's gonna take some wear and tear on your car. So just keep that in mind. The third thing is it is a good bang for your buck when you compare it to the rest of the island, but it's gonna be a little bit more expensive up here for a single family home than it would be down in Kapolei proper or Ewa Beach. Now, another con is going to be the heat. It's just naturally gonna be warmer out here in West Oahu. Yes, it's gonna be cooler than it is in Ewa or Kapolei proper, but it's still gonna be warm out here in West Oahu compared to the rest of the island. The second thing is if you're looking for nightlife, you ain't gonna find it here. There's a couple good restaurants and even some bars down below in Kapolei and Ewa, but if you're really looking for nightlife, you're gonna wanna be closer to the Honolulu or Waikiki area. And the last con is going to be associations. A lot of these homes out here were built by developers and they're going to have associations. And I have a love-hate relationship with these homeowners associations because they keep the properties, or at least the neighborhood, looking pristine, making sure the yards are clean, but also they have lots of rules and regulations on what color my fence can be, or the type of tint that I have on my windows, or how many cars I can have parked in my garage. So those are just things you have to keep in mind, and they generally have a cost that can be anywhere from $80 to $800, which isn't any fun. Now let's talk about construction type as well as home prices out here in Makakilo. So when it comes to construction type, again, you're gonna have variety. You're gonna have low-rise condos, townhomes, as well as single-family homes, and even luxurious mansion homes way up in Upper Makakilo. Now, the age of these homes and the construction type is going to depend Generally in lower Makakilo, you're gonna get those homes built in the 60s and 70s, single wall construction, jalousie windows. And then as you get higher up into upper Makakilo, you'll see a lot more homes built in 90s, 2000s, and things of that nature. Now, when it comes to home prices, again, we have a variety of options for you, but in the condos, you're probably looking anywhere between 500 to 750. In those townhomes, 750 to $1 million. And then for single family homes, it's generally gonna be about 900 to $1.5 million. Now we've learned a little bit about Makakilo, but let's take a look at the actual inventory and some of the homes out here. Today we are actually spotlighting this new property that just came on the market by one of my good friends, Derek. This property is listed for $1.2 million. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath with a potential bonus room downstairs, just under 2,000 square feet, sitting on a 6,000 square foot lot. Let's go check it out. Now, one of the things I absolutely love about Makakilo is most of the homes are gonna be built in the 2000s, just like this home. And you can tell that in the craftsmanship of the property. So you've got these beautiful open vaulted ceilings, which really creates a lot of space. The dual pane windows, we've got luxury vinyl plank, as well as all the other modern amenities and fixtures that you'll see around the entire property. Now, Makakilo is generally infamous for its beautiful views. Now, this property is on a corner lot. It doesn't have a view per se, other than the mountain, which is right over there and stunning. But what you do get is some beautiful, beautiful outdoor living space, like the sitting area, the jacuzzi, and even a fireplace. Now, you have the 3 main bedrooms upstairs, but this property actually offers a potential bonus room. It's technically a den right now, but you could very easily close this off, turn it into a bedroom, an official office. And another thing that I really like specifically about Makakilo is, yes, it is warm out here. It's a little bit breezier than it is down in Ewa and Kapolei, but a lot of the homes, again, being built in the 2000s, do have central AC, which feels really good right now. This is so cool. But anyways, you're definitely gonna have higher electrical bills out here because it is a little bit warmer. You of course get those breezes we discussed before. The fortunate thing about this property is it does come with 18 owned solar panels to keep that electrical bill low. Now, my favorite part of the property is not the jacuzzi, it's not the outdoor living, it's not even the vaulted ceilings, it's this one thing. Check this out. Now you might be thinking it's just a garage. Well, out here in Hawaii, garages are a huge amenity and very difficult to come by. Out here in Makakilo, you will find a fair amount of garages, but it's not that it's just a 2-car garage. It's all of the cabinet space. Now, these are some of the cabinets that are even nicer than my own house in the garage. So you got plenty of storage. I can imagine myself hanging my surfboards, my kayaks, probably most of my clothes because my wife takes up all the closet space. And they even have a sink that you can utilize when you have the boys over, watching the football game, need to wash some dishes, what have you. You have everything you need just in this garage. Now let's talk about the things to do in Makakilo. So now when you want to come off that beautiful mountain perch that you are up there and you want to come on down into Kapolei proper, there is a handful of things for you to do. The first one would be tons of shopping. So as you can see all around me, I've got a bunch of killer restaurants, Paniolo's for burritos, Japanese dining. We got DB Grill and Mad Bene if you want some great pizza and pasta. And just on the other side, we've got Target, Subway, Long's, TJ Maxx, Ulta, pretty much everything you need when it comes to shopping or eating right down the street from the top hills of Makakilo. The second thing you could definitely do out here is when you want to get out of the heat, you can go over to Wet n Wild. So if you want to take the kids over there, go down a water slide, that's a great option for you. If you want something a little bit more natural, you can of course enjoy the beaches of Ewa and Kapolei. Some of my favorite beaches like White Plains, great surfing spot. Good for the kids if you can find a little pocket that doesn't have a bunch of reef, but that's another thing that you can do out here in Makakilo. And the last thing you want to check out is the lineup over in Waikai. They just built this. It offers great grinds and a bar, and down below, if there's no waves and you still want to surf, they have a man-made wave that you can enjoy. And if the kids want to jump in the water and play around, they also have a Ninja Warrior obstacle course, which they can play around with. And the last thing that you can definitely do out here is, like I mentioned before, behind me, there's tons of grinds and good restaurants. But also they have Eat the Street. So if you want to get some food trucks, they generally do that every weekend. And also over at the lineup, they also do have a farmer's market. Okay guys, well, we covered a lot in this video. We discussed price points, types of homes, pros and cons, and of course you saw that beautiful home that's been listed for 1.2 million out here in Makakilo. If you guys have any questions about anything out here in Hawaii when it comes to real estate, feel free to reach out to me. I'm Patrick with PatrickLongleyRealty.com, powered by eXp Realty. Hope you have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you soon. Aloha.